When you see sign up for my newsletter on a website, do you immediately click yes? I would put my money on it that the answer is going to be no, of course not. And I definitely understand why. I feel like we're kind of conditioned to hate email. Every time you check your inbox, you have dozens of messages just telling you all kinds of things. You've won a free cruise. Your email is about to be canceled. Spam has really ruined email, plain and simple. So why on earth would anyone want to give their email address out, especially on a random website? Hello and welcome to another episode of Digital Marketing Made Simple. I'm your host, Jennie Lyon, and today I really wanted to dig in to how you can supercharge your email list by offering fantastic lead magnets. So a targeted and high quality email list is really one of the most valuable assets that a business can have. It enables all kinds of email marketing. It allows you to reach out to your already existing or potentially interested customers with your marketing content. So this different type of content can really range from digital newsletters to new product announcements to nurturing sequences and different types of marketing campaigns. And, with all of this in mind, when I talk to clients about marketing techniques, I get a lot of questions about where should I spend my money? Where should I spend my time? And they're usually pretty shocked when I tell them that email marketing has the best return on their investment. An email list, it isn't something that you can just buy off the internet. Okay, you can, but you shouldn't. Please do not. Not a good idea. An email list is really something that you have to build. You have to develop it yourself. And you want a list that's going to be full of people who are generally interested in what you have to offer and excited to hear from you. You want your list to be full of raving fans who are really excited to buy from you as well. So the question is, how do you punch through all of that internalized reluctance of a potential customer to share their email address with you, to get them to sign up to your email list? Well, the answer is pretty simple. Fantastic lead magnets. Put simply, a lead magnet is an incentive. As I mentioned, thanks to copious amounts of spam and unwanted emails, people really are more reluctant than ever to share their email address with anyone. So you have to sweeten the pot a lot. Lead magnets, also known as opt-ins or freebies, free downloads, they can really be just about anything. It could be an ebook, a checklist, exclusive coupons, or my favorite, a workbook. The trick is that your lead magnet really needs to not only align with your core message, but that it really needs to entice people to trading their email address for it. So I always ask my clients, what is that one question that you get asked over and over again, whether it's from your existing clients or prospective clients? That is probably your lead magnet. So your lead magnet, to be really effective, you have to ensure that the free content that you're sharing is actually worth their email address. So I see this a lot where someone will just slap together a lead magnet and pop it up there, and you leave your name and email address, and it's not worth it. And you think to yourself, what a waste of time. Now I have to unsubscribe. You really want your lead magnet to be so good that when they receive it, they can't believe that it's free. You want it to trigger in them that, oh my gosh, if this is what she offers for free, can you imagine what her paid stuff looks like? And creating top-notch content for your lead magnet is one reason why so many companies will hire our team, right? That is something that we really specialize in. We work really hard to help our clients build a lead magnet and a whole funnel and nurture sequence as well that really people are so excited to receive, and that they're not hitting unsubscribe. We don't want that. We want them to feel super excited about what they receive. We would never want them to feel betrayed that they gave their email address. We really want to nurture that relationship. So building a really great lead magnet funnel is something that we do all of the time, and it's super important to us. From the very beginning of creating a lead magnet that's really, helpful and valuable and actionable for them, to then nurturing them through other types of content that really gives them that time that they need to get to know you more. You need to warm those people up. They don't know you yet. So you want to give them that time to get to know you, and they will like you. And, they'll eventually become a paying customer. So you really want to have that whole funnel in place to make sure that happens. So then the next question I get asked a lot is, okay, well, once I have my lead magnet, where do I offer it? So I always start with your homepage, and definitely above the fold, above where you have to start scrolling down. If you don't already have a modern, well-branded website that's really, easy for your audience to navigate and that has messaging that's on point, then that's something that you probably want to go back at and look at before you start to create your lead magnets. Because every kind of digital marketing is really designed to lead potential customers to your website, whether it's a landing page or to your homepage. And an amazing website, it's really the foundation of your business, right? So it's just like building a home. You wouldn't start framing the walls until you have a solid foundation in place. And the same goes for your business. You really need to have an amazing website in place, that foundational piece, before you start building your marketing on top of it. And that's why putting your lead magnets somewhere that's really prominent on your homepage is the perfect place to start. The first thing that most people do when they visit your website is you just have that few seconds to grab them, right? They want to look and see who you are. What do you do? How's that going to benefit them? But then they're usually looking for some sort of call to action that you want them to take. Usually that's your lead magnet, and they need to see a lead magnet that's going to be very intriguing, right? So you need to make sure that you have really great copy with it as well. That copy really needs to drive a story. It needs to be infused with your personality. And of course, it needs to include a call to action that spurs them to click. So you might want to have the word free in there somewhere, but it's really about, how it's presented. Next up is pop-ups. Oh my goodness. So pop-ups have come a long way since the early days of the internet, right? Do you remember back in the 90s where a brand new window would often appear on your screen and start playing a video or music, or it would have like loud, like flashing graphics, and it really disrupted your browsing experience and was super annoying, which I think is why the pop-up got such a bad name. Even worse, they would start to multiply like bunnies, right? They would start to eat up your screen real estate and your computer power. And, most times you'd just be clicking, trying to get them to close out. Well, thankfully today you can use unobstructive pop-ups on your website to really entice viewers to take that action that you want, which is to sign up for your email list. So you could have a pop-up that's simply a small browser that kind of pops up in the bottom of the right-hand corner or left-hand corner of your website. Another one I really like to use is an exit intent pop-up that appears when it looks like the visitor is about to leave your website. They're going to leave anyway. So an exit intent pop-up, it doesn't disrupt their browsing experience, and it gives you that last chance to hopefully pull them in. These pop-ups should be really, carefully worded and beautifully designed. You really want to match the overall branding of your website. The last thing that you want is to disrupt that user experience, like those pop-ups of the 90s. Instead, you really want your lead magnet to be an organic part of the overall experience. This balance can be tricky to pull off, but, especially if you haven't written copy for lead magnets before. So definitely reach out if you need help. Be more than happy to help you with that. And then next up is social media. So I get this question a lot too. So what's the difference between social media marketing and email marketing from a marketing perspective? So I usually explain it kind of like this. So when someone goes to, say, Facebook and they check out your profile, they're kind of window shopping you, right? I always think of social media as the display window for your business. Just as you would window shop when you hit the shopping mall, potential customers, they're interested in your digital storefront display. They want to see if your offer is attractive to them. And they're kind of initiating that initial contact with you. And when you have someone's email address, then you turn them from just a window shopper into a visitor, right? And that visiting kind of goes both ways, and you can really give them a much greater experience this way. So, with an email list, even if your customers leave your social media channel, you can still contact them via your email. So having someone's email address, it's much more valuable than having them as a follower on social media, although both, are important. But that said, you can really leverage social media to grow your email list. So you could utilize social media ads where you can bring people to your website or into your sales funnel, putting that offer or free content directly in front of them. So with Facebook, or other social media ads, you can really get specific in your targeting. So that can really help to get that lead magnet in front of the right people. And of course, you can also share your lead magnets in your social media. You could put it in the social media cover, the bio, in the posts. So there's a lot of things you can do there as well. And then of course, one of my favorites is in your blog. So if you're trying to entice people into signing up for your email list, by providing them with valuable content, well, where would be a good place to ask for it, right? Your content. Yeah. And blog posts are an amazing form of free content, and they're very rarely used as a lead magnet. I think that's because there is this public perception that blog posts should be free, right? And that they're much more useful for content marketing purposes than for, maybe building SEO. But that doesn't mean that you can't use them to build your email list as well. So if someone reads and enjoys one of your blog posts, then they are likely going to want more. So if you offer them a lead magnet within your blog post, hey, now there's an idea. There's a good chance that they'll sign up for it. So I like in my blog posts, if I'm, say, writing a blog post that's about social media marketing, then I would have an opt-in within that blog post that maybe shares one of my opt-ins, like my 15 free visual quotes that you can use on social media. It's one of my most popular ones that people download. And, it will pop up for them, or it'll be embedded right inside the blog post. And by building lead magnet opportunities inside of your blog post, then you can prove to your customers that by exchanging their email address, they'll get even more valuable content from you. That kind of makes it really, really well worth it. So the blog kind of primes the pump and, gets them to want more information, and the lead magnet closes the deal. So next up, of course, is that you want to be worthy of their email, right? So you have their email address. You're well on your way to building a robust email list full of raving fans. So that means that you can use it to spam your customers day and night, right? No, wrong. Hold on. Remember everything that I said about people hating to give their email addresses away to other people on the internet? There's a reason why all emails have that unsubscribe button at the bottom, right? My job as a digital marketer is to do everything I can to keep their cursor away from that unsubscribe link. And one way of doing that, of course, is by creating compelling content in all of my clients' emails and my own as well. So we never spam customers because we realize how precious that email address is. And abusing it would be a betrayal of that agreement that we have with them. They gave their email address so that we could provide them with valuable free content. If we start hounding them every day about buy this, buy that, they're going to instantly click off and unsubscribe, so you really want to make sure that you are sending them content that they want when they want it. So that brings up a little bit of a question that I get a lot from customers is, I'm afraid to send emails out, especially, every week, because I'm afraid people get tired of me and they'll unsubscribe. Well, they won't if you're offering fantastic, valuable content. The opposite will be true. In fact, I've been sending my newsletter that I send out every week, that I have sent out every week for probably going on a decade now. And I send it regularly, same day, same time, every week, and have for years. And every once in a while, something will pop up where the newsletter just doesn't go out at the same time. Instead, something else popped up and I didn't get to it. So it's going to go out this evening instead of in the morning like it usually does. And I'm not kidding you. Every time that happens, at least one person will email me and ask, are you going to send out your email today? So it's definitely worth it. And that's also why creating an email marketing strategy is vitally important. Getting people to sign up for your email list by offering that free lead magnet, it's only the beginning. Now you really get to prove yourself worthy of that email every single time that you send a message to them. So let's recap what we talked about today. So getting people to give you their email address, it can be a little bit complicated because people do have concerns about spam and scams. And to build your email list, you really need to provide an incentive, a free, valuable lead magnet. And a lead magnet can be just about anything, but it really should align with your core offer, and it needs to give your audience a quick win. And your lead magnet needs to be so good that your audience will think, wow, if this is what she gives away for free, her paid offerings must be amazing. And the primary place to advertise your lead magnet, of course, is on your homepage above the fold. And in the 90s, pop-ups were a menace, right? Remember all those blinking lights? But the pop-ups of today can be very useful in advertising your lead magnets. So you want to think inside your existing content. And while social media really is vital for digital marketing, email marketing really is a bit more important. I would argue the ROI is much higher. So I always tell clients, start with email marketing first, get that rolling, then start to add in your social media. And a weekly blog, it can be a great way to advertise your lead magnets again and again and again. You're offering them more free, valuable content inside your free, valuable content. And of course, never ever spam your customers. You really want to prove yourself worthy of their email address. So if you're sold on the idea of offering a free lead magnet on your website, now what? Well, you have to create one, right? And that's where things can sometimes get tricky. I hear that again and again. Remember, you really want that lead magnet to be of that same high quality as everything else that you offer. Otherwise it can really hurt your brand. If you need a little help figuring out what your ideal lead magnet should be, what that core lead magnet should be, then please reach out. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. I also have a free lead magnet download that you can grab. It's a workbook that walks you through identifying your core lead magnet. And you can grab it at jennielyon.com/lead magnet. And inside it, you will get my insight into how I create a lead magnet that really will perfectly align with your core offering. And as a digital marketing expert, I've created, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lead magnets and email campaigns for my clients. So I really do know that formula that can really grow your email list and make it into one of the most valuable resources that you have. It all started initially 20 years ago with my own list. And every year, my list doubles, it doubles. So please reach out. Happy to answer any questions that you have, and would love to help you create your lead magnet that's going to draw in your ideal audience and generate those new leads. Well, I hope you found this episode of Digital Marketing Made Simple helpful, and I hope you're well on your way to supercharging your email list by offering a fantastic lead magnet. I'll see you next time on another episode.